Hello traders and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, April 24th, 2014, on a Friday after the New York close. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Thailand, bright blue sunny skies and white sandy beaches. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com. We've got some great stuff on the site. It's got a great economic calendar. It's got demo accounts. A lot of things you can learn, a lot of education. You can watch all the past videos over the last couple of years. So come and join us. Take a look. Before we move on to some commentary and news, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilda. I'm your moderator for the Friday wrap-up, which we do every Friday after the New York close. Well, traders, I started trading in the year of 2006 and 2008. I retired from a wonderful career in the fire rescue department out of the great state of Florida. Traders, I came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, it's 2015 and I'm still here. Traders, I do trade the Forex market every single day. Doesn't mean I take a trade every day, but I'm looking at opportunities and probabilities that are on my side to take profitable trades. Love being in the markets, love watching the markets and seeing what's going on globally. It's quite an adventure. Remember, we're not micro traders. We are macro traders. We trade everything. We're looking at the whole globe when we trade the Forex market. All right, let's take care of the legal stuff. This is the risk disclaimer. Remember that Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most of all, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Let's move over to the commentary. Had some pretty nice movements during the week last week. I think we got some good stuff coming in the week to come. We'll take a look at about 15 daily charts today. So we're just looking at price action and we're looking at what we might expect to see happening. You're going to see a lot of charts that are in ranges and things like that. I'm not sure, but I think the Fed speaks this week, and we want to see what our good old chairwoman Yellen has to say. I think everybody's watching what's going on with that. And of course, the top of the headlines is Greece. What is Greece? What's going to happen with Greece? Are they going to default? Are they going to stay in the Eurozone? Are they going to leave the Eurozone? My opinion is they're not going to let them leave the Eurozone, so they're going to work it out one way or another. Commentary is pretty short today. I was not in the markets on Friday as I was ill, but I am back and we should get started. So, enough of that, and let us take a look at some daily charts. Like I said, on the charts it doesn't say daily charts, so just remember that these are daily charts. So, when we talk about these, remember each candle is one day. Before we get to that, let's take a look at the indices. How did the markets close on Friday? Well, the Dow 30 closed up 0.12%. The S&P 500 closed up 0.23%. The Nasdaq closed up 0.71%, with the Russell 2000 in the red at 0.31%. Traders, let's go over to the Eurozone and see how they did. The DAX closed in the green at 0.74%, with the FTSE 100 closing at 0.24%, and the CAC 40 closing at 0.44%. The Euro Stoxx 50 closed also in the green at 0.43%. How do we do in Asia? Let's take a look at Asia. We'll take a look at some of the countries in Asia. The Nikkei 225 was in the red, negative 0.83%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia closed in the positive at 1.51%, very nice. And the Shanghai was in the red at 0.46%, with the Hang Seng in the green at 0.84%. And ending this series, the Kospi closed in the red at 0.63%. So that's what happened at the close after the New York markets. So let's get moving and let's get over to some charts. And as usual, we will start with the Euro-Dollar. Euro-Dollar, as you can see, is definitely in a downtrend. It's been in a downtrend for a very, very long time. We had a couple of updates, looks like on Thursday and Friday. However, it looks like we're coming up to some resistance here at this level here. So, you know, I'm looking for maybe a down day on Monday, and we'll see how that happens. I think I think fundamentally we have to be really aware and keep that in mind as we go through our trading week, because I think the Fed and the Greece issue are really top priority, and the markets are watching it very carefully. However, we are at resistance. I'm expecting to see this to come back down. All this did, traders, was we had a nice fib, went sideways, came back up, fibbed again, and we're looking for this to come back down. If you would have fibbed that swing, you'd see we're probably about the 50% Fibonacci level. All those 6 red candles, if you fib that, you could see we're probably about the 50% level. So I expect a red day on Monday. Let's take a the dollar Swiss, pretty flat. Did have a nice move there to the upside for a week. Had a nice move. Then we had a week where we backed down to the downside. Now it's back to sideways. And if you take a look at Friday's candle, it closed at the doji, and you can see it has not broken that 200 exponential moving average for quite a while. So, and it's up against that. So we can end up staying next to that 200 exponential moving average for quite some time. Traders, take a look at a pair that I trade on a regular basis, and that's the pound dollar. Traders, this is a big bullish candle, and this was news that came out on Thursday, and this was the China news that came out that caused this move here. And I don't, I don't expect this to remain this way. I don't expect this to be a change of trend. Even though I have to say, if you take a look at left of the chart, it has taken out previous resistance. If you look at that cluster all the way left of the chart and then just look a little bit to the right, you'll see that cluster of candles there. It has taken that out. So this pair we're going to have to watch pretty carefully now once we come into the next Asia session for our new week. And this might be heading back up to that 200 exponential moving average. And so we'll keep an eye on that. That's a pretty engulfing candle we got right there that ended Friday. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on the pound dollar as we move. Like Forex traders, we don't care if it goes up or it goes down. We just want to make sure on that right side of the market. Let's take a look at the pound yen. Remember, traders, if you don't have the dollar index on your platform, you can always go to the dollar yen. And the dollar yen will give you an idea what the dollar is doing. And, for the last 3 weeks, I've been talking about that. The dollar yen is basically just hanging out sideways. It's just sideways. So it's just maintaining its strength. But the dollar's not losing strength, but the dollar's not gaining any strength. So it's staying the same. And that's why we're seeing this basically just in a sideways price action, because the dollar's really not doing anything. It's just maintaining. It's not obtaining any more strength or losing any strength. So we'll keep that in mind as we go through our trading week. Let's take a look at one of my favorite pairs, and that's the euro yen. Euro yen's in a downtrend. It looks like we had a fib here for like the last week and a half. Now, again, if you take a look at where price action stopped at the close, again, here we are. We're at another point of resistance. Look left to your chart there, and you'll see that this is a price level where price has reacted in the past. So what we want to do here is just keep an eye on this, and again, watch your yen pairs. Now, Kuroda has been speaking a lot last week, and also Abe has been speaking a lot last week, and they're still talking about. Listen, they're not being shameful about. We don't have any problem with injecting money into their market, or so what they call it, stimulus. Quantitative easing is what we call it, right? But they're not. They have other plans if for some reason they need to do something about the yen currency pair. So we're just going to have to watch that and just watch your data. And traders, there's news feeds out there that give you live data all day long, and you can get that for free, okay? So go out there and Google that, and you can hear it, so you don't have to be reading it all the time. You can just hear it. And you'll know when there's something going on, because the guy who talks, his voice always goes up. It's pretty funny. Anyhow, let's go over to the beast. We'll talk about the pound yen. Pretty interesting. Looks like this decided on Tuesday to come up above the 200 exponential moving average, which is quite an accomplishment there, because, again, look at left of the chart. We're probably, wow, what is that, almost a month we've been below the 200 exponential moving average. Now we're above it. So if we go back to talking about the pound dollar, and now we're looking at the pound yen, and now they're both very bullish. So we might have a change of trend with the Great British Pound. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. There's really nothing in its way. We have pretty much a wide open space here for this to continue to the upside. So it's got a clear run to that 186.35 area. Let's take a look at the Aussie yen, the good old Aussie. Not doing much this week. Pretty much stayed, within its little range there. Hasn't done anything. You can see Thursday and Friday we ended up with a doji candle, 2 candles. So, nothing going on there. Again, I think fundamentals is what's going to move this, and we're just waiting for that to happen. However, as far as our currency pair, we are bearish in this, right? We're bearish in the Aussie yen. Let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. This isn't as pretty as a chart as we would like it to be, but we are in a range here, but we're still in a downtrend. It hasn't taken out that high. If you look at that doji with that red wick, it hasn't taken that out yet. So it really hasn't taken out any significant highs. So as far as this pair goes, last 3 days of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we had some up days. I'm expecting this to drop now, come on. Our next Asia session, I expect this to come back down again and continue its trend to the downside. We had some news events last week that really moved the market to the upside. China put out a couple of days of some data that really moved the markets quite a bit, like 70 and 80 pips in the Asia session. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as far as how am I going to trade this for the week, my bias is to the downside, so we want to sell this. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar looks pretty ugly, if you want my honest opinion. This was in a downtrend for such a long time, and now it looks like it's really fighting to come back up. What I think is going to happen here is this is going to eventually come back up to this 200 exponential moving average, and it's going to sit there. This pair really likes the 200 exponential moving average, and you can see we just keep on making higher highs and higher lows. And we had 2 down days, had 2 red days, right? So Wednesday and Thursday we had a down day. Now we're back to an up candle again. And if you look left of the chart, what do you have? You have resistance there. Look at all those candles. Look at those wicks. All indecision candles there. Market doesn't know what it wants to do. Does it want to go up or does it want to go down? Does it want to go up or does it want to go down? And that doesn't have to do with the New Zealand part of this currency pair. This is all about the dollar. Okay, this is about the dollar and fundamentals. So just keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at the dollar CAD. I don't talk a lot about the dollar CAD because I don't trade it. And not that I wouldn't trade it. It's just not a currency pair that I trade on a regular basis. But the dollar CAD is correlated with the pound dollar, which is pretty funny. So the pound is going up and the CAD is coming down. So that fits, and we can see here we are last week basically just stayed in a sideways range. Even though they're daily candles and there's probably, some good pips in some of those candles, there's not that many. I mean, it's not like there's 100 pip candles here. These are probably 30 or 40 pip candles, 20, 30 pips. That's about it. So we're in a range here with this dollar CAD, so just keep an eye on that. If you do trade the, they call it the loonie for a reason, right? So if you do trade this, it's been sideways for such a long time, but we would have to assume that this is in an uptrend and until it proves us wrong. It can go down to the 200 exponential moving average and then head back up to the upside. That's a possibility if it breaks this support area. It's pretty interesting, where it's support and resistance at the same time, right? So come Tuesday, we'll have a good idea what's going on with the dollar CAD. Let's take a look at the pound Aussie. This is a great pair to trade. I really enjoy trading the pound Aussie, but you can see for the last couple of weeks it's been in this nasty range. Not really doing much, but you can see it keeps giving us higher highs and higher lows, even with that doji, right? And just kept on going up. So if you traded the pound Aussie last week, you probably did pretty well. The issue I have with the pound Aussie is I can't believe the spread they're getting for this pair. It's pretty high for for the pound Aussie. So there's 41 other currency pairs we can look at instead of paying that high spread. That's why I don't trade it. I think the spread is ridiculous. It's like 5 pip spread on this, so it's pretty high. And the last one of our currency pairs for this week is the Euro Aussie. This is probably one of my favorite currency pairs to trade, and it has really not done very much. It's been sideways for all of last week. Again, these are daily candles, so these are a lot of pips here. Some of these candles are 30, 40 pips. I'm only looking for 20 to 30 pips out of a currency pair and then I want out of that trade. I don't want to be hanging around. Don't fall in love with your trades. But if you take a look here, we have a red doji candle that we ended up on Friday. So this has room to come down to support. So there's a good chance this can keep going to the downside. This is in a downtrend. If you look at this spatially, pull your head back a little bit, look at this chart as a whole, you would see that this is a bearish pair, and we just want to sell this, right? We really don't want to buy the Euro Aussie. So we'll see how this works out. And the other thing is, remember, the Euro on May 7th, I think, which is only like 2 weeks away, they have a major election in the UK, right? Isn't that where that is? So they have an election coming up, so it's going to be pretty interesting. This might stay stagnant until that happens. Traders, I'd like to thank you on behalf of myself, William Gilda, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading. Again, traders, come and visit us at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, enjoy your weekend break. Enjoy your time with your family, friends, and loved ones. And we will see you in the next Asia session for the market opening preview, first thing of the week. Traders, take care and have a good one. Take care now. Bye-bye.